We are finally back home from Asia after 2 weeks, and there is a lot to catch up on. Our first order of business, the 2027 National Defense Authorization Act, known as the NDAA, was passed by the House on July 22nd. Now it's being sent to the Senate. This has been a very controversial topic, and here's why. So tucked inside this multi-billion-dollar bill is a section that everyone is talking about. Now, instead of me scrolling through people's opinions, I decided to find the document and read it myself. I was up last night at 3 a.m. because of my sleep schedule's a little bit off, and I found it. It's a 505-page document. You can find it on armedservices.house.gov. All seems great, but then on page 40, section 219, it's titled United States-Israel Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative. And it specifically states, and I quote, Section A, Establishment. The Secretary of Defense shall designate an executive agent responsible for synchronizing cooperative efforts between the United States and Israel to expand and accelerate bilateral defense technology, research, development, testing, evaluation, integration, and industrial cooperation by 1. Identifying jointly developed or Israeli origin technologies with operational utility for potential integration into United States systems and programs of record. 2. Ensuring collaborative research initiatives involving government, private sector, and academic institutions in the United States and Israel. This is no longer an ally. Now you're saying, okay, let's just get married. Let's get married. We're committed. This is a lifelong engagement. Let's get married. Now let me get something straight, America. We should only be married to one thing and one thing only. And it's the people and the citizens of the United States of America, not any other country. It is our taxpayer dollars, and it is our men and women who serve in the military to protect the American people, not to fight other countries' wars. And we know Israel loves conflict. A country's military is supposed to exist strictly to protect its own citizens and uphold its own national security. Some commentators are saying that the U.S. military and the IDF are integrating, and this is not what the bill states. However, it is introducing these ideas by sharing military intel, cybersecurity developments, and technology. Now, the U.S. military still has their separate chain of command, and so does the IDS. But now they have more access to what we consider private military information, resources, and military equipment. Now, this is if the bill turns into law. It is not turned into law yet. Like I said, guys, it is going to the Senate. And then after that, President Trump has to sign it into law. Okay, so we still have one more major step, technically 2, but it seems like Trump is already on board. And we really have to figure out, is this really what the future of America is going to look like? Okay, this is a soft way of binding our American troops to future conflicts that Israel gets itself involved in. The American people have the right to point out the fact that this grants an unprecedented level of influence and power of American defense assets to a foreign state. This is definitely not an America First decision, and I don't care which way you spin it. This isn't just because it's Israel. It could be any foreign country, and my response would be the same. I have nothing against the Israeli people and truly want the best for them and their nation, but not at the cost of the lives of our American soldiers, and I'm sure they would feel the same if the roles were reversed. Why are American taxpayers footing the bill for a defense budget that is now legally intertwined with another nation's military objectives? I'm just going to ask the question that we're all thinking. Maybe not everybody's saying it, but we're all thinking. And that is, what are we doing, America? One nation under God, not 2, 1. And this bill compromises American military independence and places foreign interests right at the heart of Washington's defense apparatus. Now, that was a mouthful, so let's get into it. Welcome back to the Kaitlin Brown Show. So this is what we do know about the bill so far. As of July 23rd, 2026, the current status is that the House of Representatives passed its version of the FY 2027 NDAA on July 22nd, 2026. The Senate has not yet passed the same version of the bill. If the Senate passes a different version, which is common, the House and Senate must reconcile the differences. Both chambers must then approve the identical final version. Only after that is the bill sent to President Trump. President Trump has not yet signed it, so it is not a law as of today. Section 224 in the House passed FY 2027 NDAA is titled United States-Israeli Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative. It directs the Secretary of Defense to designate an executive agent responsible for expanding U.S.-Israel defense technology cooperation. It encouraged cooperations in areas such as artificial intelligence, autonomous systems, cybersecurity, cyber warfare, biotechnology, advanced defense technologies. It promotes joint research and development, technology sharing, and where blah, 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 blah. This is too much, okay? Co-production of defense capabilities between the United States and Israel. If you'd like to read the official legislative language yourself, it's contained in the House Armed Services Committee's FY 2027 NDAA bill. You guys can find it online. Now, why are people saying it's military integration? Critics argue that because the bill calls for deeper technology, procurement, research, and industrial integration, it represents a significant step toward closer military integration between the two countries. Supporters describe it as a strengthening defense technology cooperation and accelerating innovation between allies. Those are interpretation of the bill's practical effects rather than quotations from the statutory text. Now, let's talk about this for a second. That was like a lot of information. That was a lot to digest. And I understand that they have to pass this bill every year as we plan for the following year. I guess where I and a lot of other Americans are trying to find their footing in this is, why is it so crucial and important to have this intel and communication and dialogue and relationship with Israel to the point that they now need to be involved in the bills that we pass? Listen, once again, I have nothing against Israel. This could literally be any country or nation. I just really believe that our founding fathers right now are rolling in their grave. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? The United States of America is an independent nation. We are the best nation in the world. We have the strongest military in the world. This is who we are. I understand that sometimes we have to step out and assist our allies and assist them with equipment or defense or artillery or finances, whatever we need to do. I understand that. But let's first take care of our American people. Let's take care of the things that we are struggling with as a nation. Our health care, the fact that we have homeless people on the streets, the fact that we have drug addicts, the fact that we have a sex trafficking issue in the United States of America, the fact that we have gangs that are still here. We have so many issues that we need to fix internally. So before we step out to assist another nation and their military defense mechanisms, why don't we use those funds to make our nation better and our nation stronger, to the citizens that live here, that the taxpayer dollars that we pay? Why don't we focus on that, right? Now, I want to dive in a little bit deeper into this because I think that a lot of people are also putting it above and beyond. They're like, okay, now our military is one with Israel. No, that is not what's happening. But there's a bridge, and there is a legal bill that is currently being passed into law that creates an indefinite bridge that will be very difficult for us to walk back from. I need you guys to pay very close attention to what I'm talking about right here, right now. Section 224 says a designated Pentagon official or organization. Okay, first of all, an official is one person. An organization, you're talking about a full staff and salary just for this. Let's just put that out there. Would coordinate U.S.-Israel defense technology programs across the Department of Defense. The word integration appears here, but grammatically it is part of the phrase defense technology research, development, testing, evaluation, integration, and industrial cooperation. It does not expressly say that the two armed forces or command structures would be merged. That is key, guys. So let's not put out false information. This is why I went ahead and I read the document itself, because a lot of influencers and commentators are saying that we're merging. There is a lot of language here, but completely merging our militaries is not one of them. So let's just be sure of that, okay? The executive agent would be responsible for identifying jointly developed or Israeli origin technologies with operational utility for potential integration to United States systems and programs of record. First of all, that does not make me comfortable at all. Why do they need to have integration into our systems and programs of record? This is one of the clearest integration provisions, and it specifically contemplates placing jointly developed technologies or technologies originating in Israel into established U.S. military systems and formal Pentagon acquisition programs. A program of record is generally an official approved and budgeted Department of Defense acquisition program, so this is more consequential than merely sharing research. It could move Israeli origin technology into regular U.S. defense procurement. Does anybody else think that that's just like not an America first thing? I'm genuinely shocked. Like, I wish I had more words to say, but I don't. And I voted for Trump. I still believe in Trump. I love Trump. But this just doesn't seem like him. Some of the decisions he's been making lately does not seem like him. Now, I know there's going to be some people on here who are like, well, you were deceived. This has always been him. No, I don't think so. I don't think Trump is the type of guy that wants to be controlled or that likes to be controlled. He likes to say whatever he feels, and he likes to put his foot down, and he's a very calculated individual. I still think we're better off than having Kamala Harris, to be completely honest. But that's just my opinion. Again, you guys are open to sharing yours. That is mine. But this decision has me questioning, what is the reasoning behind this? What is the real reasoning behind this? Are they putting the pressure on him? What are they doing? We don't know. Let's continue. That means the initiative is not limited to experimentation. It is intended to help jointly develop or selected technology move toward actual Pentagon purchasing and deployment. I have so much here that I wanted to share with you guys, but there's just so much to unpack here that just, to me, does not make any sense. As an American citizen, as a taxpayer, as an individual family that is in the military, I do not understand. I can only imagine the way that some military families may be feeling right now. I can only imagine how some soldiers may be feeling right now after hearing the news of this particular section in the NDAA 2027. There's a lot to think about here, guys. And I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Once again, I don't want this to be a place of slander or negativity or a place where we're just going to come on here and facilitate drama. We are going to bring the facts. When I got online and I got on my social media, I hear people saying different things, and I'm like, are these people even reading the document? Are they doing proper research? Are they seeing what was actually passed? And what I read to you is what has actually been passed. And I'm going to go ahead and drop the link to the document itself. If you guys go to page 40, you can read it for yourself. But there is way too much going on there. I don't believe we should be married to any other country or nation. The only thing we should be married to is the American people, because that's who we fight for. And that is why we do what we do. That is why we have a military. That is why we have a constitution. That is why we have a government to fight for the people. Once again, I have nothing against the Israeli people or the Israeli government. I do believe the Israeli government is moving a lot different than the United States government. I don't agree with some of the things that they are doing, but that is not my government. That is not my government. So I have no real factual information that I would like to share as to why I don't agree. That is just my personal opinion. But I don't agree with the way that they move. I don't. I even truly believe that people in Israel do not like the way that their government is moving. So why is our government joining forces in this integration of intel, technology, research, development, whatever you want to call it, cooperation, right? Because that's what they're calling it. They're calling it an initiative, a cooperation. Whatever language they're putting behind this, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it at all, one bit. And I don't think you should either. I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Do your research, do your reading, have your voice be heard. I love our nation. I love our government. Although it is not perfect, I still love it because I'm grateful that we have one. We still live in the best nation in the world. And there's always just going to be things that we do or do not agree with. So I would like to hear your thoughts in the chat box. Go ahead, guys. Let us know down below. I am still adjusting to the time change. I just got back a day ago. I was trying to film this video yesterday to have it up on Thursday because I'm supposed to have a video up every Thursday. Today is Friday, so I apologize for the delay. But I was flying back from Singapore. I did go ahead and post my video of my talk in Japan. So you guys can go ahead and watch that. It's called The Becoming. It is a leadership talk. You guys are more than welcome to go ahead and watch that back. And if you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Turn on those notifications and let us know in the comments, what are your thoughts on this? Because there's a lot to unpack here, people. And the last thing I will say is the Charlie Kirk pretrial went ahead and finished. We are going to come back in September. And there are some comments that I have about how that went. So I will see you next Thursday as I will be uncovering that and a couple of other things. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. And thank you once again for all of your support and for everyone for being here. I am truly, truly grateful. And thank you once again for joining us here in the Kaitlin Brown Show. See you guys next week.